Hello, everybody. As you can hear, my voice is, my voice is much better than it was a couple of days ago. Slowly coming back. So, I want to make this really quick video to allow my voice some rest. This video is basically about a really short dream that I had, which it was kind of different in terms of the usual dream, because this dream I was actually hearing. So God was using my spiritual hearing. I was asleep, but I wasn't seeing, I was hearing. It's more like I was hearing a conversation. So in the dream, I'm hearing a man speak to people. He's trying to gather people together to go to Jamaica. And the reason why he's gathering people that own land in Jamaica. It was like he was having this conversation in America, and he was talking to people that own land in Jamaica. And he said, he wants people to come to him that own land in Jamaica, and they were going to go over to Jamaica for reasons that he would not explain. And he said he would explain it when we get down there. And he was using the name of the Lord as like whatever it was he was going to do down there was because of the Lord. This is what he was saying. Now I'm hearing the conversation, but again, like I said, I don't see anything. Just hearing it, hearing people talk. And then I begin to hear my thoughts. And I'm thinking to myself, this man just wants to get people together to get their land and use the name of the Lord as justification for what he's trying to do. Basically, he's trying to make a buck off the people who own land in Jamaica, Ancestral Land. So when I woke up, I was just sitting there, and I was like, okay, God, what are you trying to say? What do you want me to say to your people? Because I know a lot about ancestral land, because I had to deal with that. And this message doesn't just have to be for people that's in Jamaica. You could take this. This type of thing happens all over the world. You have people who have no roots in particular places, have no roots to or connection to any type of land. And land is very important to God. And land is very important in an economical sense in terms of who holds power and who doesn't. Land is very important. It's always been important. Territory has always been important. So there's a whole teaching on that. But I just want to stick to what God is showing me here. So God is saying, don't sell your land. Don't sell your land. Like I said, this happens all over the world. They call it gentrification. Probably not pronouncing it right. But this happens all over the world, where they will root out people that have lived for hundreds of years. Their ancestors have lived somewhere for hundreds of years, and they will root them out. And if they won't sell, then they will make it hard for them to stay where they're at. They'll start to raise the taxes, or they'll make the businesses leave. And then the people have no job, so they have to end up selling. So there's all different ways they do it. But in this particular dream, God was showing me that it was going to be somebody that comes under the guise of being a man of God or a woman of God. And when they get these people down there, it's going to be like, oh, well, you know what? This is for building the kingdom. This is for building the church up. And if you want your communities, you want to give back to your community, then you need to give us an offering of the land. It's no more going to be like, oh, just give us money. They'll take that too. But if they could get that land, that's what people are after. So God is saying in this dream, don't give up your ancestral land. And I think the reason why I didn't see the people talking, the reason why I didn't see the conversation is because God doesn't want us to get caught up in, okay, so who is he talking about? Is he talking about people that have like Arawak Indian blood? Or is he talking about people who were brought over there as slaves? Or is he talking about the Chinese immigrant? No. What I believe is God is talking about the little man, period. He's not talking about these big old conglomerates, these big old corporations that come over and they take land, and this happens not just to Jamaica, all islands, a lot of the islands where the people don't own the land. The people don't own the land. It's these big old companies that own the land. You can't even go on the beach that you want to go on, because it's all taken over by tourism and whoever owns that. So God is just disgusted on how these people are being basically booted out of their own land. And so then what happens is, and then it's not just their fault also. It's not just the people that come and try to swindle you out of your land. It's not just their fault. It's also each individual too has to take responsibility. Sometimes it's like, oh man, I could sell this house and I could make all this money, and I'll be living, you know what I mean? This is great. I'll sell this house, I'll sell this land or whatever, and then I'll get a quick fix and I'll be set. Maybe you'll be set for yourself, you know what I mean? But there's no lasting legacy. And all throughout the Bible, God has always been a stickler for land and land staying in the family. And you see this all throughout the Bible. You see this when the people were, when the Israelites were in captivity and they started to go back to their homeland. There were records kept about who owned what, and so that was important. It was important. So land is very important for more reasons than one. Like I said, I don't have time to get into it, but land is very important. So just specifically to the people of Jamaica, I don't know what's going on. I don't know if God is saying that this is specific, like somebody is going to come under using the name of the Lord saying like you need to gift this land to us or whatever. I don't know if it's that it's a specific persons or people, or if this has been happening. I don't know. Y'all could give me comments or whatever, but if it hasn't been happening, it's going to happen. And so God is just saying, giving you a warning: don't sell out, don't sell out, don't sell out. Also, like I said, you don't have to be Jamaican to appreciate the principle in this. My own personal story, God was on me to to make sure that I kept my ancestral land in my family. And at the time I was like, God, I don't even have no money to even buy that land. And so God provided the money and I ended up buying it. I ended up buying that land. So, but God was consistently on me, it was in a time where I had to really seek God to get a word from him. But I didn't even have to seek God for that particular word. He's told me 3 times to get that land. It was so important to him that you keep that legacy with inside of your family. And the temptation is there to go ahead and just sell it and get a quick fix. But even if you had to work that land in order for it to produce something for you, in order for it to produce a profit, then do what you need to do. Because I remember God telling me, because I was like, God, well, what do I do with the land? And he was like, I don't care what you do with it, just don't sell it. So, whether you want to, if you have a house on the land and you want to rent it out, or you want to grow crops on that land, whatever, do something to turn a profit, because you're still going to have to pay taxes on it, but do something to turn a profit. Or if you financially secure and you don't really whatever, just let it sit. Just let it sit, and you hand it down to the next generation. But that land needs to stay. It needs to stay. God is very particular about that. So, like I said, I don't know who this applies to. If there's somebody that has land and you're watching this and you were thinking maybe I should sell it, I don't know, but it's for somebody, because I don't own any land in Jamaica. And also I wanted to say, if there's land out there that was in your family and you have the opportunity or the desire to get it back, get it back. And if you don't have the money, you ask God.